What is up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Welcome back to my next part of the God of War commentary series. We are in the middle of Vanaheim right now, and we are trying to recapture the moon that was taken from Skull and Hati. And so, this is where we'll leave off, and of course, we left off on a beautiful view, if you remember right. And you could see it right. Not here. Right. Give it a second. Give it a second.
Hello?
Here.
They're sleeping.
Look at that beautiful, beautiful view. I mean, you can't beat this view. It's so cool. God of War really did a really good job on the atmosphere and the detail and all of their environments. The sun, the lighting engine, it's so well done. And plus, we get to meet Skull and Hati right here. We'll meet them more in the future. So let's go capture the moon, shall we?
The Aner Yar played a part according to Skull and Hati's shrine.
Managed to stuff the moon inside a box.
I'm kind of excited for this mission. This isn't one of my top missions that I love, but it is one of my favorites just because it has the sun and it has like the change of seasons and everything. So it's very cool. Oh my gosh, okay. We'll take some damage as we go through all the elements.
I imagine he's handy with that enormous broken sword of his.
Yay, some fighting. Let's do this. We have more incoming up there too. In 3, 2, 1.
Give him what for?
That was simple enough. Got some more enemies up here.
I didn't know they could do that.
A new enemy.
Stay alert. Yeah?
Correct.
We're chasing him down. Right. Go up here. That's the side objective. What am I doing the side thing? I didn't technically do it, but you know what I mean. And then we get a whole fighting sequence here. I believe so.
This is definitely an ambush.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. You have to go on the forward a little bit. Cut off the arms. I love that animation. I also love that he literally can jump in like that. I forgot to explain that within like the first mission, but it was really cool to see that, you know? Let's use the blades for a bit. Oh, I've actually forgot about that. Again, I don't use the blades as much, so all the moves are kind of new to me. Okay, let's continue this way. What else do we have? Really? They keep grappling between each other. Okay, I guess we have one more.
Here's hoping that puts a dent in Odin's forces, at least for the time being.
Oh look, it's the moon.
Running out of soldiers anytime soon.
And we know.
Hey, hurry! She's getting away.
We weren't fast enough. I'm surprised they were just going straight up to it, considering there are enemies all around. I thought Kratos would have some sort of knowledge to know better. You deserve it.
She's gone again. Hurry! We gotta get across.
Ah, keep forgetting I have to go this way.
There.
Bring it on.
She's going up the waterfall.
Behind you, brother!
With Atreus shooting arrows into the sphere, you can have deadly damage on enemies, as you just saw there.
They are not smart.
Aye, and there's that.
You know, what we're doing right now, all of this, it's almost exactly how we saw it play out back in Skull and Hati's Shrine. The wolves are back in Vanaheim. We're rescuing the moon.
Yes, I remember the prophecy.
So, doesn't it make you worried? Everything we're... Whoa! What is that?
A wyvern! Nasty beast!
Now we have a lot of fighting to do here. A lot of enemies. I love the takedown on this, even though the animation takes a while. Okay, maybe a little faster than what we saw as others. Who's next? No, hold on. Let's keep going. Okay, maybe that was just 2 enemies. Maybe one more.
It's cold. Is this? It's from Helheim. Heimdall must have grabbed this while I freed Garm. I was there, but I didn't know.
And now you fight to undo.
That's why when Odin whispered to the bird, he was instructing Heimdall to grab the moon from Helheim. Probably in a different language, not Kratos, but Atreus didn't know.
How are you so sure we
And so that's why he just didn't know about it. Otherwise, he would be like, oh, why are you doing this? This isn't right. And he would kind of speak up against Odin. Or at least question the motives a little bit. Let's keep going. I love the 3 different weapon types. It's so cool. It's just one added weapon from before in God of War 4, so it's very different.
Turn your back on the wolves.
Now, pay attention to this upcoming scene. I thought it was very, very interesting and cool at the same time.
Here goes nothing.
Look at that, the eyes, the sun and moon. That's beautiful right there, that they reflected in Skull and Hati. and then it goes off, and then they chase it. And look at this, the time and the daylight changes. With a total eclipse. I thought that was really, really beautiful, very cool. And it's just a really cool and beautiful scene right here. If anyone disagrees, I don't know what is wrong with your mind right now. And of course, Atreus doesn't want to do it because it would be fulfilling the prophecy.
Fate only bind you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written.
And the thing is, Kratos knows this, and he, based on the Sisters of Fate in God of War 2, he knows that he has to do this, and it's just played out. Beautiful. I love the riffs. It literally, they did really good well with the animations. I thought that was really, really cool. Love the eyes and the wolves. I love the details. I love everything about this scene, the area. It just brings out the beauty of this game and what it truly has to offer.
They have a gift for us. A way to call them anytime we need them.
And then we head
Looks like
back.
they want us to use it at one of the altars?
Perhaps Freya will know.
So in essence, they just gave us the keys of death to war.
Okay.
Not bad for a day's work.
We should head back
We'll
to Hill's
continue
Cave and
on,
talk
defeat
about
more
it.
enemies, blah blah blah.
Yes. Back to the camp.
It's down! There he goes. Let's heal us.
Oh, I totally forgot about that move. I love that move. Again, of all these missions, I never actually used it.
Wasn't the same one
Is that you could literally just grapple enemy and throw it, fling it forward.
In Asgard,
And that's kind of like what I like about it.
Odin's army.
I use it a lot to propel enemies off cliffs, or I just needed space for a lot of enemies.
Kill them here.
It was very useful, and it was one of the early skills I got because I knew it would be very, very helpful in what it had to offer.
endless army of dead soldiers.
You mean Helheim?
If I see another human, I'll let you know. I can't really use on this one. Again, look at every hit. Well, not every hit, but slowly you can see the health is slowly coming back. It's not a ton, but you can see like a little sliver of it. And then you have this finisher. We did the same thing Freya did back then when we fought it. Nice teamwork. Kill the brain, kill the whole thing.
Whew. Guess they like the Egros. So, your point-
Personally, it's cool to see the night in this realm, but I personally like the sun better. It's just, it brings out the beauty in this realm.
But Odin's not gonna stop searching for masterpieces.
That is his concern, not ours.
Oh, I thought that was a thing I had to go through.
Offers all the answers.
Then it will surely exact a price. Be wary of shortcuts to knowledge.
Yes, Father.
I thought that was a cool line too. Because again, Kratos has a huge amount of past for his Greek culture. He's seen a lot of stuff, he's witnessed a lot of stuff, and therefore you just see the experience he teaches to his son.
Only the carnivorous ones.
And we return to Freya. Kind of cool that they have these posts to hang up. Kind of want to actually try to replicate that in Minecraft someday.
Ah, that wrinkly mug belongs to Helka. She's a Blothunder. Hounds prized for their pinpoint accurate tracking abilities. You'll love her.
Kratos, Atreus. That eclipse was your doing, I take it. Thank you for coming. Big Veer used the diversion to escape.
What about your brother?
We know where they're holding him now. Bela's already prepped the explosives. If you're with me, we can leave as soon as you're ready.
I could use another shapeshifter's help. Go with him, Atreus. I will aid Freya.
Yes, sir.
The fuse is but 30 heartbeats. That's enough. Once you see the signal, count it down. Come, Kratos. We should get moving.
I know, what are you doing? And why am I going 5 miles per hour?
Should we call on them?
Doesn't really make sense now, does it?
There's a shortcut to Njord's temple we can use in daylight.
The Einherjar are holding fair in your father's own temple.
It's been empty for as long as I can remember. There's a celestial altar across the river. According to
The thing is, this was blocked before because of the sunlight. Now that the moon is here, we can finally pass. The thing is, post-game, when I was trying to get the platinum, I was trying to figure out how to get up the map through Vanaheim. And I was like, what's the correct way to do this? And the thing was, you had to complete a mission. And this was the mission you had to go on to just advance through it. Before I was like, what do I have to do? And then I looked up online and it's like, oh, you have to complete this quest. And I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. Notice how the arrows aren't really that effective for Freya. They're more effective when you have Atreus. I don't know why, it just seems that way. Now, I might be totally wrong, but I have that sort of sense. It just seems it doesn't do as much damage. It's still great damage, but I feel like Atreus does a little bit more. Continue on. Have a lot of enemies to face. Oh, this area. I call this the Doom area. You know why? It reminds me of the battlefield in, like, Doom. You go up, down, face enemies, waves of enemies every time you're here. Rip the jaw right through.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Now, if any of you played Doom, you might agree with me on this. Like, in Doom, if you played any of the games, you have many platforms. You can go lower, you can go up, and you just have ways to defeat. And you just have to maneuver through different platforms in order to defeat each enemy. And to get the advantage on them, you know? And that's kind of like what you have to do here.
This is the last.
They've rallied more soldiers since our last visit.
And so, I thought that was just kind of interesting. And again, that one area, you fight like 50 enemies. Alright, so you defeat one up here. Oh no, defeat one here. Where is it? Somewhere. There we go. Oh yeah. So this was not my favorite move. Okay. Gosh, go away. I need to feed it here. Then it burns the rest. Is there another enemy I'm missing? Why is it not letting me? Oh, you have to go up here, use the clock thing, and then you progress.
Try dragging the scepter across the bell a few times.
Scepter is what it's called. Now this kind of reminds me of, I forgot which cultures, Chinese or Japanese, but it has the same thing where you rub like a roll around the bowl, and it makes a really cool sound. And it's kind of cool that they brought that same kind of idea into this game.
The giants. Atreus believes Ragnarok is inevitable.
The Norns were quite clear on the nature of prophecy. They told us the sum of our choices were predictable.
Okay, look at this. This is gonna be funny.
Changed.
Goodbye.
Careful, brother. You're covered in my
Come on, I'm trying to grab him so I could do that. See, that's why I chose that beginning move, because it's so easy to knock people off. Okay, let's continue on.
The Norn said you'd kill Heimdall, but you chose not to walk that path.
I'm not gonna do that. This is a side objective.
Done the same.
It'd be really interesting to go back here and see what stuff I still have to do.
Much to answer for. If Groa's prophecy is correct, perhaps my realm can finally know peace. Perhaps I can know peace.
Forgive me for being a head on a belt, but have
I'm just gonna skip this. It might shoot stuff at me, but I don't care. Take a little bit of damage.
What?
Again, this is like another Doom area. Multiple platforms, multiple waves of enemies. I guess he's stuck. Okay, I guess that other guy died. Let's keep moving. Now, I won't defeat this boss, but the thing is, when we get to this area, my first playthrough, I tried defeating this side boss right here. And it held a very important key to get the platinum, but I didn't know that till much later. So I defeated him, lost a bunch of times, and then I was like, okay, I'll just come back later. I finally did defeat him after the post game. And then later when I did another playthrough to get the platinum, it was very interesting because I needed to kill that enemy to get something for the platinum. So that one boss I'll never forget. He was a very tough boss because I was very under-leveled my first playthrough. Again, I skipped a lot of the side content and side objectives when I first do my first playthrough, and just go. Of course, I do get like extra chests and loot and stuff like that, and solve all the puzzles. But I never did like any of like the side quests, the side missions, and side bosses, and so I just went straight through.
There's an altar behind these vines.
Ooh, this is a very important scene right here.
Call on Skoll, please. Are you ready?
I am. Are you?
I'm not leaving here without my brother.
And then the fires light up. It's kind of a cool scene. But there's a problem.
We're coming for you, Ingvi.
Completely giving away your position. What idiots. If it isn't Queen Mistletoe herself. Hilarious, by the way. Been a while.
Heimdall.
And you must be the little half-breed's father. Lucky day! You have a lot to answer for, Sunshine. You too, traitor.
Better a traitor than Odin's lapdog.
The burden is mine.
I can help.
I know. But you are needed elsewhere.
He's right, you know. Sizzles wasn't looking so hot last I saw.
I know you didn't want this, but we know how this ends. See you soon.
Well, we both know that's not true. But don't worry, Frigg. I'll be coming for you and your brother as soon as I am finished here.
The final fight, or not final fight, but
What you got? Whoa! What did Gulto forever do to you?
thing is, I want to use this axe and spear in the spear, firsthand,
Animal.
so he can see the spear,
Not going to lie.
and I'll show you something later.
Disappointed. So aggressive. So angry.
Okay, so I showed a little bit of the spear. I'll do the other weapons just to kill this person.
Write him down, Gultoper. Having fun yet?
Yep, you're dead now.
Oh well, you and me then. Bet it would hurt if you could hit me. Oh look, the stick is back.
Let's fight.
Well,
The thing is, he didn't...
I can feel your frustration. It is immensely satisfying.
What now, brother?
The spear remains our best chance.
Hey, careful! These are new bracelets. Nobody is coming to help. Queen Mistletoe is long gone. It's just you and me and that traitorous head. Oh, wait! You expected the stick to give you an advantage?
Yeah. It's working so far.
Hilarious! The scion of the Aesir brought down by an old geezer's cane. Ah! No! 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 By the gods! You are... You actually hit me!
Oh.
Slow down! I don't remember the last time anyone hit me!
See, now we're overwhelming him.
Like a sloppy cow!
At least I'm striking you.
Armor fit for a cup. You think you can bring down Asgard?
Time to finish it off. And I love how they made animations for every single different type of weapon you use. Right now it's mainly the spear and what people use to take them down. But I think there's one for the axe as well, and maybe one for the blades.
Wait. What is going on in that empty little head? Oh, no, 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 no. You are going to spare me out of pity!
Let it go, you may live.
Is this about the little runt? Oh, now I am definitely going to gut him.
This is your final warning.
I don't think a warning's going to cut it.
You think you get to just walk away? No. That is not how this works.
See, I thought that was kind of interesting. He's using Aesir magic to grow his arm back?
You
Huh.
do not get to decide my fate!
That's very, very interesting. I had never seen anyone do that. So, him as Aesir, I thought that was really interesting that he can grow the arms back. Sorry I'm not saying much during this fight. There's not really much to report.
You are way over your head! Don't you know who I am? I am the Watchman of the Aesir, the Herald of Ragnarok!
Let's defeat him for good.
Slow down! I am going to find that little mongrel of yours and beat his face into a pulp! Only one of us is walking away from this. And it sure as shit will not be you!
Well, we're almost done.
Try and spare me!
And then we see him literally become the ghost of Sparta, the god of war in the Greek world. So much rage in his face. And because of this,
Who you want to be?
he kills Heimdall. And begins Ragnarok. Then he realizes, whoops, I just killed him. From my rage. The rage I had because Atreus wasn't here, so it just, I don't know. He has to move on.
Kratos, that was just... I don't know if we are breaking fate, or fate's breaking us.
He has a point. So let's continue the war, shall we? This is going to be a very, very intense scene because we have a lot of enemies to face. That was another great screenshot right there. The fire, kind of, that temple literally is kind of like a copy and paste from Uncharted 4. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of it. Kind of like when you get the all the houses, the captain's mansions at the end of the game. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
least the rescue's going well.
He doesn't speak much, he just grunts. And I think Faye realized that when she married him. Wait, what's this? Oh.
Yeah, so guess what? We got hit by some hammer. Freya's hurt. We need to get him out of here.
I'll cover him. We can't get through the door. We're trapped.
Just pound the ground a little bit. Even though that sounds kind of wrong, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we got a little Doom style here. I'm gonna go up and defeat this enemy. Throw a rock at someone. Or just totally miss. Otherwise fine. Where's the next enemy? Up above. Where are they? Seriously. They keep disappearing from me.
Hold out here forever. I got an idea.
I agree. Split in half. Okay, are we gonna... I think we have to kill this enemy and then we progress. Okay. Are you gonna do anything about it? I think we have to defeat this big guy now, and then we continue. We'll finish him off. Okay. How many more enemies? Gosh. There we go. Let's just keep on going. And then we have an interesting carry and chase scene. Really, really, really cool. Because I thought we had to like fight a bunch of enemies here, but no. We just have to defend.
We're almost there, right? Archers ahead. Seriously?
And it's like a really big chase scene. Look at that. It's like something you would find in like Hollywood or Disneyland. Like, it's very intense. You have to get through all these enemies.
I'm betrayed. You okay? Alright. No. Just hold on.
Oh, that was kind of cool. A lot of enemies.
Close, right?
On your right.
Keep going. We're almost at the river.
I'm about to hurl.
Okay, I think we'll finish this sequence.
Where's the boat?
Good question. Where is the boat?
Hurry now.
And then it was like, what, this tiny piece of paper? And it was like origami. It expands and turns into a boat, in a way. I thought, and it's nice it's nice blue and everything. Don't know why I said beer, but nice blue color, very luminous. Time to fight. Temple is on fire, but they move on. I thought this was funny.
Okay. This is bad.
3 times it drops. No, I'm just kidding. The same reaction as him. I thought they were gonna crash, but again, in Freyr, they just all tricked us, you know? Because they're in the sky.
It's flying. We're flying. I knew it would do that.
Did I say Aesir when I meant as the Guardians? Okay, maybe Freya's Aesir, so. Here we go.
We have guests!
There's another one!
I knew this was going too smoothly.
Little help?
They're too fast! Look out!
Crazy. They defend everyone. This is probably has to be one of my favorite heroes in this game. The ultimate sacrifice, even though we don't know him that well. It's kind of like the one of in Star Wars, the Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. And he goes in and makes the sacrifice. Look at that. He takes 2 down in 1 sword hit. My goodness, that was amazing. Oh my goodness. Now I think he lives later, but my goodness, that was an intense scene for a sacrifice. One of the best scenes I've seen in terms of sacrificial honor. And people are like, oh, you should change up your armor, your cosplay. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to change it. I personally like the look I have. The blue and gold just matches what should be. And so, yeah, I took down those dragons or whatever. And we're on to the next destination. Pondering what to do next. But also honoring that guy, Beger.
You think he survived that?
He's down there picking the dirt out of his nails with the beast's feathers. You'll see. He has to be.
We're almost there, Ingvi. Just hold on a bit longer.
I don't suppose I have much of a choice at the moment.
Then we get back to base. Fun.
Lunda, we need cloth and boiling water. Red root and
Lamb's cress, I know. You think I never staunched a bleeder before? Oh, now don't you go worrying, boss. I didn't go through any of your stuff while you was off being tortured.
Damn it, Lunda. Easy.
Heck you sassing me for? I ain't the one who stuck you like a damn pig. No offense.
Freya, mind giving her a hand? We're just taking over entirely?
Hold still. She'll just get you stable so I can take you to Sindri's house. The rest of my herbs are there.
We'll protect the realm in your absence. The four of us.
Vanaheim's in good hands.
Party at Sindri's house, huh? Whoever that is.
Your boat.
Nope. Your boat. Go on, take it. Sail the skies. Sun yourself on its bow. You look like you could use it. Make a Vanir god proud.
Gave you his boat? Nice.
He left me no choice.
Because it was necessary, not because it was written.
Prophecy holds that Galahorn is the herald of Ragnarok. Whatever it does.
I read about it in Odin's library. Supposedly it...
Hold it, Atreus. We will discuss in private.
What does that mean? Helka smells something. Could be important. Maybe we should follow her.
No. I'm not gonna follow her. Or follow him.
Helka.
I'm just gonna go back to the house.
So, what do you want to do now?
But yeah, that was kind of interesting. We get the boat, and that's the end of that scene.
Ah, we can always try finding Helka some other time.
I wanted to tell you. I read something in Odin's library about what Galahorn is supposed to do. It's flown by a god. It sounds through all the realms and harmonizes the space between them. Maybe it's somewhere like...
And so that's when I first learned about the horn. We'll learn about the horn more later, but I thought that was really, really cool that he just kind of explains it right now, because we'll need to learn more about it and know about it later on.
Freya aware of this.
So I will conclude this part, and I'll continue the rest in my next part. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and I will see you next time with lots of love and respect. Peace out. Bye.